Hello, my name is Valentin. I'm from Classtime, and today I'm going to show you what Classtime is, how to use it, and also how to get started with it. So Classtime is an assessment platform used by teachers in classrooms to engage all the students and get immediate visibility of every student's learning progress. So the teacher can use this to assess knowledge, review knowledge, teach, let students be creative, work together, and just answer various tasks in real time, giving you the ability to engage as necessary. And what it also does, it saves you a lot of time. We have more than 30,000 questions prepared for free that you can just add with a few clicks. And we also have some nifty features such as auto-grading or reports that you can generate within a few seconds, saving you tons of correction work. In this video, you'll learn how to register for Classtime. You'll learn what a session is and how students can join one. You'll learn how to find content, questions, or prepare your own and get that session started again. Once you're in Classtime, I recommend clicking on Start Now. That will bring you straight to the session dashboard, which is what teachers look at during a class. And you'll see that there's a code, a session code, that you can share with your students for them to join. I'll talk about that a bit more later. And you'll see a little preview down there how students could join your class. So once you click on the preview, that's a simulation. You'll see the students join your session. You'll see the answers coming in. All the questions are currently active, so the live answers are coming in. You can activate, deactivate the questions, play around a bit, and get a feeling of how a live session might actually look like. Click on the questions, you can see the details of how the class did overall, giving you just the immediate visibility of and power that a Classtime session can help you with. So the first things first, I suggest to sign up. You can sign up through single sign-on, which means authenticate through Facebook, Google, or Microsoft, which I always recommend because you won't have to remember an additional password. But you can also enter a manual email password combination as you wish. I personally will now log in with my Google account. Great, now I'm logged in and I'm in my library. So the library is where I save all my questions and question sets. You can access the library by clicking on library in the top menu. And you'll see that I have a lot of question sets across different subjects in a folder. But what I want to get your attention to is the search bar. So there you can search for any topic you want. So in this case, I'll try 5th grade English, and it will show me all the question sets that have 5th grade English questions. So this is a reading comprehension. I can preview it. I can see that there are different question types, multiple choice, highlightable text, sorting, categorizing. And so I like it. And so with one click, I added it for free to my library. I can add more. I can look for other topics like math, for example. So you'll just see that there's an abundance of various topics and it's a continuously growing library. So let's go back to the library. And now going back, I'll quickly find the one I just added, highlighted in yellow. So it's a reading comprehension, juggling a problem. And you can see that all questions are visible, that you can even click on them and you can edit them freely as you want. So if you want to make any adaptations, that's no problem at all. Of course, you can also just delete questions that you don't like or don't need, or just create your own one from scratch. We have 7 different question types: multiple choice, check boxes, true, false, free text, categorizers, sorting, and highlightable text. Everything can be created. You can add YouTube videos, images, long descriptions and text as you wish, so that's absolutely no problem. The second version to find more content is our Khan Academy library. You'll find that on the right-hand side of your library. So all you have to do for that is click on Khan Academy, and there you'll find thousands of questions for free. And they're categorized by topic, primary focus on math, but also science and engineering, and also arts and humanities. So you can just explore it as you wish. We'll check out this 3rd grade now. You can preview the questions as you want, and if you're happy, add them to your library with one click. Now this is a pretty simple question set, so I'll go back to the juggling a problem, the reading comprehension, and I'll start a session. And all I have to do is click on Start New Session. This will generate a new session code. But before we look at that, here are the session settings. So you'll see that there are various settings that you can change at any time, from shuffling answer options, only allowing one attempt, session timers, partial grading, only allowing authentication through Google and Microsoft so that students can't enter nicknames. There are various options, so I'll just quickly modify this setting here. And you'll see this is the familiar session dashboard again that we saw first. All 8 questions are available now, and you'll see their settings that we just changed. You can always click on the settings and always adapt them as you want, even during a live session. And as we've shown in the first example, there's a session code, a unique one. That's the code you want to share with your students for them to join your session. So they can either go to classtime.com, which is what we're going to do now, and ask them to enter this code to join your session. Students will then have the option to enter a nickname, which I allowed now in the settings, so I can just enter my name manually, or they can authenticate with Google or Microsoft accounts, which I highly recommend if your school supports one of those providers. Alternatively, you can also copy a direct link. If you open that direct link and share it through a communication tool, students are going to be redirected directly to that join page. So just like in the beginning, let's start a preview. We'll give you an idea of how this might look in the classroom. All questions are active. You can see who are the students. You can look at it by percentage accuracy of how well they're doing. You can also change it to a per points view to see how they're doing, depending if you added different weights to each question. And you can hide the names in case you're projecting it to the classroom wall and want to anonymize it for the class. You can sort it by performance, by progress, or alphabetically. Really up to you how you want to work with this dashboard. Finally, you can always click on the questions to see how the class is doing overall. You can hover over the students to see which students answered what, but you can also click on the single fields, the cells in the dashboard. But now let's take a look how it looks for a student, right? So in this case, I'm not going to join now as a student with a nickname. I'm going to use Google authentication instead. The advantage being that the teacher knows that it's really the student and the name is also consistent, also throughout future sessions, so it will be much easier to track student growth. And no answers yet. So going back to the student interface, you'll see that's the reading passage, that's a multiple choice question I'm answering now. Just gonna guess a bit to save some time. This is highlightable text where you have to select paragraphs that answer the question. And you'll see checkboxes, several answers correct, and you'll see that you can add images, GIFs, you can integrate videos, you can add long text. For math, you also have mathematical formulas you can include. So there's a lot of formatting and rich options that you can do and include with Classtime. This is a categorizer, just gonna guess this one as well. And here this is another highlightable text, but this time we did it per word. So we're looking for a certain word in this context. And then finally there's the sorter where you can sort values or sequences as necessary. And so great, all questions have been answered. If I go back now to my session dashboard, I see that I didn't do very well with my guesswork, but all the answers are there, and I can deep dive, look into the single student answer or as a class overall, which in this case is only one student. I can now click on Show Solutions to Students because I haven't activated immediately showing solutions, and the students get the feedback. In this case, there's session reflection is activated, so it's just going to ask the students if they learned something new, if they'd like to practice this again, and how they feel about their learning progress. This is all data that you can activate or deactivate, but in this case, it's going to collect it for you. And since we're showing the solutions, the students can see and learn from their mistakes or their correct answers. And at any time, you can click on sessions to see all of your active sessions. There's no limit to how many active sessions you can have in parallel, which is really convenient if you want to, for example, differentiate between 2 or 3 groups within the same class. That's no problem, just give a certain unique code to each student. And as you can see here, you can then delete sessions that you don't really need, or just tests. You can export the data as Excel or PDF, so let's just try this as well. The PDF is by class, and we're developing the per student right now, so should be out very soon. You'll see the questions, you'll see the answer options, and you'll also see the distribution amongst the class, how they did on these questions. And then finally, you can also export it as Excel, and the Excel will show you a more grading focused view where you see how did the class do overall. You'll see, in this case, only one student, but you'd see all the students per question, how they did, breakdown by points and performance. You can also go into every question and see exactly what they answered and how well they've done on each question. So all that data is then available to you. And that's about it. That's how you run a session with Classtime. That's the basic flow. Not going to talk about the challenges today. That's the 3rd tab up there in the header menu. If you do have more questions, you can always click on Help, where we have a knowledge center with a lot of articles and videos, or you can click on your profile and then on Chat with us live, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible to help you out. So thanks for your interest in Classtime, and we look forward to making your class and your students more successful.